Hello, beautiful people. Today is 14th of June. My name is Sahil, and welcome to Newspaper Analysis. Friends, you all might be knowing him, Martin Luther King, the civil rights activist from the United States of America. He says, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tell him it is right. So, guys, into the past in UPSC GS paper number 4, the question on the voice of conscience has been asked, and that happens to be a major guiding force with respect to the moral as well as ethical actions and into the foundational values of the civil service. The voice of conscience also plays an important role. So guys, it has much utility in GS paper number 4. Now friends, discussing the main question that I have gave you yesterday, the idea of new India through the application of digital India comes with limitation when the system of education focuses only on content and its consumption. Discuss in the light of online education. So friends, the question, first of all, you need to divide your answer distinctly into three parts, that is intro, body and conclusion. Now in intro we can give a brief idea about the notion of new India, and this new India is nothing but the expression of the demographic dividend that India is going to reap. This India is more resurgent, more focused, prepared to deal with the disruptions such as IoT, fourth industrial revolution, and all these kind of things. But guys, this demographic dividend will not be reaped out if proper education, skilling, and aptitude for learning is not given to the new India. So therefore, we need to focus onto the education as a core pillar. Here we'll turn into body and we'll discuss that how online education might be dwelling onto the content and its consumption, because often the dialogue and the discussion turns passive and the student ceases to be an actor into the process of learning. Now friends, a teacher can be equated with the midwife of intellectualism, and this midwife of intellectualism will not be able to perform if two-way interaction as well as learning curve is not maintained. Therefore, in this light, interactiveness, two-way communication, all these things are needed to be maintained. And finally, into the conclusion, you can provide the way forward as how a balance as well as innovations into the online medium could be required. So guys, this is a bare framework on the lines where you can go. However, you have performed really good onto the answers that you have submitted yesterday. So guys, that's it, and now let's take up the newspaper analysis. Friends, first of all, let's take the brief analysis of the entire paper. So, first news, Nepal has passed the new amendment bill with respect to the new map. So, we'll see briefly what has happened here. Then, guys, moving forward, the Delhi University is starting the School of Climate Change. So, we'll see where we can use this thing. Then, after that particular thing, now moving forward, as you can see, that only news with respect to the COVID news, political news has been mentioned. So, not important for our exam. So, guys, here we will see the global ranking parameter and will make a final summary as what are the issues here presently. Then NGT has given some order to Kerala. So guys, here we will see that how we can prevent the forest fires, the certain committees and certain reports, certain schemes will be seeing here. Then moving forward. So guys, here the returning laborers can be used for the Jal Jeevan mission. So we'll see that what convergences are being done here and how it is important. Then India might have undercounted the cases. So we'll see that what are the issues which have been mentioned into this news. Then guys, going forward, there is no important news into the world, only about the protest that is going on and the COVID has been mentioned. So into the business also, only the corporate news are there. So now we'll come to the science and tech page. Now guys, first of all, here into the snapshot we will look what is the great oxidation event. Now guys, here the recovery trials have been mentioned. So briefly we'll see the recovery trials as what they aim. Then guys, global transmission of chikungunya has been mentioned. So with respect to the chikungunya we'll see certain information. After that, these news are not important because they are the core biology part and these type of things are not asked into the UPSC. Now moving forward, guys, on FAQ page there is usually good articles, but now only WHO's position on asymptomatic patient and COVID vaccine trials which are going on. So that thing has been mentioned earlier. We had seen this into the article and most of the data will become redundant in some days, so not important for our exam. Now friends, here An article on LAC China has been given, but with respect to the UPSC, substance is not there into this article. Important questions have not been discussed. Rather, every day we are discussing the India China LAC issue as it is developing. Moreover, a large number of editorials have also been discussed. So please see that it will be much more helping you. Then, guys, on to the sports page. No important news has been there. So that's it. And now let's take up the detailed analysis of the paper. Now, friends, taking up the first news, here we can see that the Nepal has passed the constitutional amendment bill and has adopted a new map. And into this new map, three territories, that is the Limpia Dhura, Lipu Lake, and Kala Pani, has shown into the domain of Nepal. Whereas, guys, if we see the original map below this map, so we can see that these three territories were belonging to the Pithodgarh district in Uttarakhand, but now the claim has been made by Nepal onto this area. Now, the dispute here arises because the different interpretation of Treaty of Sugoli. Now, in this particular treaty, River Kali has been mentioned as the boundary between both the countries, but actually, which one is Kali River is the matter of dispute. So, guys, here if we zoom up the map, so here you can see that this blue one, it has been mentioned as the original Kali by Nepal and it rises from the Limpiadhura. So, effectively, the new boundary includes the region of Limpiadhura, Kalapani, and Lipu Lake into the domain of Nepal. Whereas, guys, India disputes this as the original Kali River and says that it rises into the lower reaches and is towards the western side. So, guys, if you see into the below map, so here we can see that here somewhere is the Kali River and therefore the territory actually belongs to India. Now, historic claims are being made and both the parties have their own version. Now, guys, if we trace the present crisis, then it started in 2019 when new map of Jammu and Kashmir was proclaimed, and there the India showed this territory belonging to India. And Nepal had certain objections with that particular thing. However, the recent matters flared up when in 2020, last month, the defense minister inaugurated the Kailash Mansarovar road, which connected Dharchula in Uttarakhand to the Lipu Lake Pass. And it was a metalled road, and Nepal saw this particular thing as the infrastructure upgradation of India onto a disputed territory. And following that kind of thing, this final decision has been taken. Now, friends, obviously, India has not recognized this new map, and the diplomatic channels are underway as how the dispute can be resolved in an amicable manner. So, friends, that's all here, and now we'll move to next. Guys, here we can see that Delhi University is starting School of Climate Change. Now, this particular thing we can use as an example into the environment related question into the GS paper number 3 environment. So, here the School of Climate Change and Sustainability has been created under the Institute of Eminence scheme. Now, this particular institution aims to develop a qualified base of professionals and practitioners who can evolve and translate the socio ecological theories into the practical solutions for meeting the challenge of national priority sustainable development. Now, guys, if we see to the sustainable developmental goals that has been taken in 2015 by the world countries, then we can find that the SDG number 13 talks about the climate action, and this particular school is a step into this particular direction. Moreover, indirectly also there are certain sustainable developmental goals, for example, the life below water, life on land, sustainable cities and communities. So, guys, all these other goals will also be satiated by this particular development. So whenever a question comes, we can use this example. Now, guys, we'll move to the next. Friends, into the last few days, we had seen the global ranking parameters, which was released by the QS World University Ranking Report. Now, this particular news item is an interview where the entire summary of all these rankings, etc., has been given. So, guys, we'll summarize the entire issue here. Please note it down and use it into the higher education related answers. So, first of all, question number one, why Indian universities perform poor? So, guys, there are three reasons for this thing. First of all, it is the internationalization. It means that the ratio of Indian students to the international students, it is not very good into India, and here India performs poor. Moreover, international faculties are also not that much, so here India scores relatively poor. Then it is the teacher student ratio. Now guys, here the methodology is somewhat different, because here only the full time faculty are treated as a teacher, whereas in countries such as USA, even the research scholars who are teaching are also regarded as the teachers. So here also India performs poor. And the third or the most important is the perception, which is given a very high weightage, and in some of the particular rankings, even 50% weightage is given to the perception. Now, guys, perception is a very subjective criteria, and no objective grounds can be given to it. And giving so high weightage actually defies the logic. Then, coming to the average performance. So, into the research impact, India performs relatively average, and the problem is not here. So, guys, these are the three parameters. Then, where the performance of India is good. So, guys, onto the front of affordability, the institutions perform really good into the terms of fees, into the terms of socio-economic impact. The performance is good, but this particular thing is not given the due importance. Therefore, the entire ranking structure is relatively skewed. And into this background, national institutional ranking framework has been started by the Ministry of Human Resource and Development, which gives much more objective criteria for the ranking. And into the times to come, NIRF can tie up with the QS World Ranking also, and can make a better framework where much better achievable objective criteria can be fixed. Moreover, guys, it is being said that the government should intervene here urgently, and onto the lines of Incredible India, a campaign onto the international level for the universities should also be started, so that perception throughout the world enhances and more internationalization also comes into the institution. Moreover, onto the international medias, for example, BBC, CNN, Indian universities can also be advertised, so that a kind of a credibility flows. So, guys, these are the issues with respect to the ranking of universities. And now we'll move to next. Now, friends, in the world, the issue of forest fires is becoming very much problematic. Into the last year, we had seen the Australian bushfires, into the Amazon. Every year there is a fire. Now, Uttarakhand fires have been there, and recently the fires into the Kerala have also erupted. Now, into this particular news, the National Green Tribunal has asked the Kerala government that they need to report as what steps they have taken for the forest fire prevention. So, guys, into the news, actually, much substance is not there. But we will see the issue of forest fire, because into the disaster management, it is very important. Now, first of all, forest fires are problematic because of certain things. First of all, it impacts the natural biodiversity and kills the much endangered flora as well as fauna. Secondly, it leads to the loss of valuable resources such as timber, etc. Thirdly, guys, into the forest fire, massive smoke is produced, which increases the concentration of the greenhouse gases into the environment. And fourthly, the local communities such as tribals also get hugely impacted, and they need to resort into the other areas, which leads to the problem of their resettlement and rehabilitation. Now, further talking about the forest. So, guys, forests are into the concurrent list into the schedule number 7. So, the responsibility is jointly on both the center as well as states. Now, guys, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change had issued the National Action Plan on Forest Fires in 2018, and the states are required to comply with this action plan. Now, seeing the features of this particular plan. Now, first of all, it is provided that a risk zonation and mapping of the forest should be done, so that vulnerable points into the forest can be identified and preventive strategies can be made. After that, there should be the effective communication strategies, so that timely actions can be taken into the event of forest fire. Then, thirdly, there should be the capacity building of the local communities, so that they are empowered into these type of crises. Then, guys, forest floor biomass management is suggested, because many a times, because of the dry biomass onto the forest floors, fires are ignited. So that thing is to be managed. Then there needs to be coordination between the communities, forest departments, and other agencies, so that a better action can be taken. So, guys, whenever the problem comes in respect of India, please use this national action plan on forest fires. Moreover, apart from this also, I will give you one more content. Guys, there is a forest fire prevention and management scheme also, which is a centrally sponsored scheme. And here, the funding is given to the state governments for the fighting of forest fires. So a forest fire mitigation and prevention plan is made, and it is seen that how much money will be required. And out of that money, into the northeast and Himalayas, 90% will be given by the center, 10% by the state, whereas or the other 60% will be given by the center and 40% by the state. So friends, if any question on this line come, please use this information. And now we'll move to next. Now, friends, here a very important step has been taken which reflects the example of the convergence of various actions in order to achieve the desired result. Now, what has happened? Into the recent times, we had seen that a large number of laborers have returned back to their states. And into this particular direction, even various state governments has also done the skill mapping of the laborers. And one example here can be given of the Madhya Pradesh government, which has taken up the Rozgar Setu scheme, and UP government has also started the skill mapping. Now, all the workers who have the skill of masoning as well as construction working, those people can be involved into the Jal Jeevan mission. Now, guys, what actually this will do, we'll come on to that, but particularly first we'll discuss about this mission. Now, into the recent time, Ministry of Jal Shakti has been made by merging the two ministries, that is Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation as well as Ministry of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. Now guys, under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Jal Jeevan Mission has been made. Now, friends, you might have heard about the Niti Aayog's water index, where it has been said that large number of people lack the piped drinking water. So, guys, under Jal Jeevan Mission, a kind of a Jal Andolan will be started, and all the households should have a functional household tap connection. It means that they should have piped water by 2024. Now, guys, this scheme is the centrally sponsored scheme where the funding pattern will be 50 is to 50 for the normal states and 90 is to 10 for the Himalayan states and the northeastern states. Now, guys, in order to provide the piped drinking water, a lot of other things have to be done. For example, we need to make a pipeline network, we need to make the rainwater harvesting solutions, and for this, a large number of labor is required. So we can use the labor which have returned, and in a way two objectives will be reached. Number one, the targets of the Jal Shakti mission will be achieved, and secondly, the returning labor will be given some employment. Moreover, guys, this thing also needed to be kept in mind that MG Narega is providing some work to the laborers, but the scheme is now being saturated because so much number of people are to be accommodated. Moreover, friends, apart from the dedicated funding by the center government as well as the state government, it has also been said that the 15th Finance Commission will be giving certain money to the local bodies, and a substantial part of this particular money has to be used for the water infrastructure projects. So, friends, resources into the terms of money as well as into the terms of manpower as well as an intention and a plan all are there, so a convergence can be achieved. So, guys, that's all, and now we'll move to next. Now, into this particular news, it has been said that India might have undercounted the number of cases during the testing. Now, see, there are two things in this respect with we need to see. Number one, we are conducting the RT-PCR test on whose basis we tell how many number of cases are there into the country. So, whatever news bulletin you are seeing which reflects the number, so it is onto the basis of RT-PCR. Now, the issue stands here is that these RT-PCR tests are expensive, they are time consuming, and their kits are not also adequately present. So, therefore, testing is very much limited. But alternatively, there is one more way of testing, that is the serological test or serological survey. Now, friends, in a while we will discuss these serological tests, but before that, what has happened? ICMR has conducted these serological tests into 69 districts into 21 states. Guys, don't need to remember this data. And into these tests, it has been seen that prevalence of population is nearly 0.73%. And if we extrapolate this data, if we enhance this data, then it could be analyzed that nearly 7 lakh people were infected only into these 69 districts into the start of May. And at this particular time, onto the basis of RT-PCR test, it was said that onto the entire country, 35,000 people are infected. So guys, just see, 35,000 it is being reported onto the entire country level, but even into these districts there could have been the 7 lakh cases. So friends, this entire issue came to a light when onto the serological test the number of people were cross verified. Now guys, coming on to what exactly are these serological tests. So into these serological tests, what we do, we take the blood sample from a person and we analyze his blood sample, that whether he has developed the antibodies into his blood. Now obviously the antibodies would have been developed into the response of a pathogen or a virus which have entered. So by seeing the prevalence of the antibodies, we can tell whether a person was infected. But there are certain issues. Number one, we just analyze the antibodies. So guys, antibodies can present then also when the person was infected, but now he has been cured. So we can't tell the actual present status. Second issue here is that, guys, in many a cases the person is infected today, but obviously the antibodies will develop into few days. So or there will be no antibodies, but the person might be infected, so it can't tell there also. However, other ways, the serological tests actually are very good mechanism, and by seeing that thing, there would have been large number of cases. So guys, there are large associated issues here, but one constructively how we can, or what lesson we can learn here is that, if you remember yesterday, the Supreme Court has directed that more number of tests should be conducted, but we had seen that the states are resource crunched. So guys, serological tests are also can be used in enhancing the number of testing, because anyhow some testing is good than the no testing. So guys, this is the issue here, and now we'll move to next. Now we are onto the science and tech page, and the first item that we'll see is a side snapshot. Now here it has been said that the mental part of the earth is responsible for driving the life format onto the earth. Why guys? Because when the volcano erupts, then a large number of gases, ash, soot, etc. is shooted out into the environment, which regulates the life forms onto the earth. So guys, mental has a lot of mysteries with respect to the evolution of life, and in order to study the mental, we need to study the volcanoes, because volcanoes bring out the lava which is stored into the mantle. Now guys, apart from this thing, a particular terminology has been mentioned here, that is great oxidation event. So we'll see this what actually happened. So actually this event began around 2.5 billion years ago, and here the actual chemistry of the environment changed, and the environment was flooded with much larger quantities of oxygen. And guys, as this thing was changed, earlier life forms which were not adapted to the oxygens, they die out in much huge numbers. And because of this particular thing, the great oxidation event is also called as the oxygen holocaust or oxygen revolution or oxygen catastrophe, by all such names. Though it was good for us, because the life of humans is now only possible because of the oxygen, as it is the necessity condition of life. Now guys, who was responsible for this particular thing? So cyanobacteria was responsible, because during this time the population was immense of cyanobacteria, and this is a photosynthetic bacteria which produces the oxygen into much large number. And guys, after this great oxidation event, the life began onto the earth, multicellular organism increased in much larger numbers, and then the evolution began and we reached to the present stage. So friends, please remember the great oxidation event, because earlier the question such as the great dying etc has been asked. So on to the same lines, here a question can also come. Now we'll move to next. Now, friends, into this particular news, only limited things we need to see. In order to find the cure for the COVID-19, world over different trials are going on. And one of that trial is the recovery trial. Now, into this particular trial, the repurposing of drug was being carried out. So, repurposing means that the existing drugs will be seen whether they are effective or not. And into this trial, all these drugs, as well as convalescent plasma therapy, is also being taken up. Now, it has been found by the recovery trials that hydroxychloroquine is not that much effective. So, therefore, now it is being stopped. Now, friends, just a few days back, we had seen that there was a report also into the Lancet which had said that the hydroxychloroquine is not effective. But later the report was condemned because it was found that the agency which supplied the data doesn't have that much important credentials. But now the recovery trial has also concluded the same thing. So guys, just keep this into your mind. Otherwise, there is nothing important into this news, only the data as how many patients and all that thing is given. Now guys, there is one more trial which is going on, that is the solidarity trial. And the solidarity trial also looks for the repurposing of the drugs, that is application of the existing drugs. Now guys, the difference between the recovery and the solidarity is this, that recovery trial are being majorly carried under the Oxford University, whereas solidarity trial are majorly sponsored under the WHO. And into this solidarity trial, there are four drugs. First one is lopinavir ritonavir. Second one is hydroxychloroquine. Third one is interferon beta, and the fourth one is remdesivir. So, guys, only these things. Now we'll move to next. Now, friends, here we will see exactly what is this stepping stone. Now, what has actually happened into the news? The teeth of a very ancient species, that is Megalodon, has been found. Now, guys, this particular species could be a stepping stone into the evolution of mammals. Now, first of all, guys, when we talk about mammals, then there are different classes of mammals which have different characteristics, but the most prominent characteristic is the presence of the mammary gland. That is, the female ones nurture their kids by giving them the milk from their mammary glands. Now, development of mammals have taken a long way. And see, there are different type of mammals. For example, there are the egg laying mammals. For example, the platypus is there. And then there are the marsupial mammals. Now, marsupial mammals are those which are notably, they have a kind of a pouch and they give birth to the live babies, but they are underdeveloped, and to this pouch they get a development. For example, there are kangaroos. Now, what has happened between these egg laying mammals and these marsupial mammals? There was one link mammal, and this link mammal is this megalodon. So guys, the stepping stone is that species which connects the two species. They could be the mammals, or they could be reptiles, or they could be amphibians. So guys, this is a stepping species. However, the name exactly you don't need to see, just remember the concept. And now we'll move to next. Now, friends, in this particular news, it is being said that India happens to be a transmission hub for the chikungunya, not only into the region, where rather into the most part of the world. However, with respect to our exam, in prelims, the question has been asked onto the disease. So we will see what exactly this disease. So guys, first of all, chikungunya. It is an RNA virus, and this virus impacts the humans and causes the fever, joint pain, and all these kind of things. Now, guys, this particular virus is vector borne. It is carried by a vector or a carrier, and this carrier are two type of mosquitoes. First is Aedes aegypti, and the second one is Aedes albopictus. And friends, one notable thing, that this mosquito majorly bites during the day. And however, when I say that it impacts the human, it doesn't mean that it only impacts the human. It also impacts other animals, the birds, rodents, etc. Them also. So guys, that's all. Now we'll move to the question section. Friends, please pause the video and try to answer the question. So first question is with respect to the Lonar Lake, which was recently turned pink. So please consider the statements and answer the question. Now, question number two is with respect to the forex reserves, as we had seen that they had significantly increased into the present times. So, please consider the statement and answer the question. Now, please consider the statement with respect to the iFlows system that has been announced recently by the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Now, question number 14 is with respect to polity. What do you understand by the subordinate legislation? So, guys, please consider the statement and identify the right option. So, guys, that's all for today's question. Today being Sunday, there will be no question for the mains. I hope you are liking our session. Thank you so much.